Now iKarao has done it again, and this time it's with the brand new Shell S3. It's the most affordable speaker they've made so far, and yes, it still comes with a built-in tablet. Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you've watched any of my iKarao speaker videos in the past, you'll notice a very common trend amongst iKarao speakers. 2 mics, a tablet, built-in battery, and the list goes on. And this is the first time that they've made it so affordable that they've actually taken the HDMI port out. Yes, every iKarao speaker so far has had an HDMI port, and this one doesn't, making it a lot more affordable for you. So unlike the X1, the X2, the Shell S1 and the Shell S2, the I/O ports on the back are a little bit less, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this is still a fully featured karaoke speaker. Basically what I'm saying is all the other speakers were a little bit overkill. iKarao kind of just threw everything at them. And this is the first time that they've made something a little bit more minimalistic that people can actually relate to. With the others, it was great to have all the extras, but sometimes you don't need all those extras, and that is who this speaker is for. Now, the Shell S3 still offers Bluetooth local play via the tablet, as well as local play by using the USB, so for onboard storage. So let me kind of give you the rundown on how full-featured this tiny speaker still is. On the front, you do have a power button. You then have your standard volume rocker roller that you get on every iKarao speaker. It's nice that they've kind of kept a very uniform kind of trend, knowing that it's an iKarao speaker. You then have your option button over here, which allows you to switch between local play and Bluetooth. Now on the other iKarao speakers, you will have another option, which is aux in. Now this doesn't have an aux in. So it does not have the HDMI port and it doesn't have aux in, but it does still have aux out. On the back, you have a USB slot which allows you to add music to this. So if you're not connected to the internet or you don't want to go via Bluetooth, you can still use that option. You then have a USB-C port for charging, which is great. You then have an aux out, and then you have another 3.5mm mic in. So yes, that takes me to the fact that once again, you can still run 1, 2, and 3 mics if you are going to be using the mic in on the back. Now the USB-C port, as mentioned, is for charging, and you do get 6 hours of play on this tiny speaker. As for the mics, you will probably get a good 20 to 30 hours out of the microphones, so there's no need to worry about actually having your mics run out before the speaker. Just like the Shell S2, you have this neat little handle, which I really like. I mentioned in my previous review that I don't really like the strap as much as I do like the handle. I love this handle. It's a lot neater, it's a lot smoother. Now, because it has that built-in tablet, it is still equipped with Wi-Fi, 2.4G and 5G. So you can connect this to your network at home, or if you are out and about and you want to tether your phone's Wi-Fi hotspot to this, you can. You can play music via YouTube, and there is a hot new little feature on here that I am going to be showing you. So stick around for that because it is pretty cool and it's great to have it with the standard software. So if you want to play music on YouTube because you find karaoke music over there, you can. But all iKarao speakers, and I mentioned this in my last review, if you buy an iKarao speaker, it does come with 6 months free of Karafun. Now, Karafun is an absolute blast. If you don't know, go check out Karafun. You can download it on your phone even, but it does come obviously with the 6-month free on here. It's such a great app. You can load actual songs within the playlist, and you can now even lower the lead singer's voice as well as kind of your backup vocals, and you can lift and lower those voices. So you could really kind of practice and have a good karaoke session all by yourself or with some friends. And the Karafun app is honestly such a treat. It's got all the greatest hits on there. They've categorized them into albums and playlists, and you can playlist it yourself and queue up what's going to be coming next. It's a great app. It's super fun. The fact that it can take away the lyrics and the main voice is really, really cool. Check out Karafun. Even if you're not buying any Karaoke speaker, just do yourself a favor and check out Karafun. And obviously, once you take out the mics and you power them on, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just like every single iKarao speaker, the mics are great. However, this is the first time that the mics have changed. So you'll notice that the form factor on these mics is a little bit different to the round ones before. And that's changed too because there's no longer these charging rings that would automatically connect. So when you do dock these mics, they do power off. However, if you do want to charge your mics, you will charge them via USB-C because they're not connected and charging automatically, like the Shell S1, S2, X1, and X2. So this is obviously to lower the cost just a bit to make it a little bit more affordable, but they haven't taken away the fact that you can still put them in. They do switch off. It is magnetic still, so they're not going to be rolling around, and you still get all the great quality mic features. And the mics are still super cardioid mics. And if you want a sound test, check this out. 1, 2. Double tap the power button and it changes the singing mode. I'm going to turn the speaker towards me so you can hear the mic picking it up. Mic test. Double tap. 1, 2. You can hear it's got a lot more reverb. Now you can do it in a custom mode and set your own reverb. 1, 2. Mic test. That sounds pretty cool. Got a lot of reverb on that. And then there's a cartoon mode. So this is pretty cool. My kids love it. There's a cartoon mode, and if you double tap it again, it goes to monster mode. 1, 2. Now, even though these microphones have changed and they may not charge themselves in the unit itself, you do still get everything else with it. Like I showed, you can still double tap. You can still lift the volume up on the mic. And what is great with the iKarao speakers is if this is mic 1 and this is mic 2 and I lift my volume nice and high because I really want to sing super loud, and someone else wants to have their volume nice and low because they don't like the sound of their voice, as you know, when it's karaoke, usually it starts flowing later on in the evening. So you can adjust your own mic levels, and that is the sound that comes across the speaker. When you do power them on, they connect insanely fast. It's pretty much immediate. Software and the new feature. Now, when it comes to iKarao, there is something that I really, really like. In the software within the app, you can head over to the settings and you can actually update your iKarao speaker via connecting to the internet. iKarao puts out updates for users so that your speaker doesn't get behind in updates and they can always keep you updated. One thing that I've noticed, the brand new Shell S3 has already had an update. It now, when you lift the volume, one thing that I never really liked was when you lift the volume, it didn't show you on the screen. Now it actually shows you the volume percentage on the screen. Also, when you do have bass boost on over here, it also shows up now at the top status bar. It still comes with that 7-inch tablet and it's extremely simple to navigate. In the settings section, you have an about display, which allows you to adjust the brightness of the tablet and its sleep time, the sound, which also allows your mic priority and mic volume, and your different mic modes. You then have the 2.4G and 5G. It does come with 32 gigs of built-in storage, so you can obviously, like I said, load music up onto the actual device. There is a cool service page which allows you to send advice or recommendations. Now that just goes to show how iKarao loves their customers, that they give you an option to send them feedback directly to them. Now the newest and coolest feature with the Shell S3, and this has been introduced to this one, if I am not mistaken, it will be available as an update probably to the S1, S2, X1 and X2 hopefully as well. I will try and confirm that in the comments section, so pop a comment over there and I'll reply to you guys as soon as I find out. But this is very, very cool. Instead of going through finding your YouTube channel of karaoke music or going into Karafun and looking through music over there, you can now head over to I'm going to switch over to Bluetooth over here, and it's connected. I'm going to click on the music icon over here, and I'm going to select remove the original vocal. Now, to give you an idea what that sounds like, listen to this. I'm going to turn the speaker to me. I'm just playing straight on Bluetooth, Apple Music over here. Now I'm going to go back to the beginning of that song, and I'm going to select remove. I'm going to switch off remove the original vocals. Now listen to this.
But it's too late now. I remember you.
How crazy is that? I'll switch it on now. Wait.
And how careless we
Yeah. All day and all. Get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright.
Honestly, what this allows you to do is, if you've got your own music that you want because you can't find it on Karafun, or you don't have the time, or you're out and about, this is super cool. I have seen this before on Apple Music. Apple Music actually has a feature where you can do a very similar thing, but the fact that it's built into the speakers, so if you don't have Apple Music, or you've just downloaded music somewhere, or a friend's got an Android phone, or whatever it may be, you can now do this anywhere you want. You've got your own karaoke music with you. Remove the vocals if you want. If you don't, it's entirely up to you. Love this new feature. In the settings, you have the mic settings, which allows you to change the different modes, like I showed you as well, via the mic, so you can do it within the tablet or on the mic. Now, you do have quick access over here to your Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi, your light display, and your volumes. Under music, you do have a little section over here where you've got hi-fi, light, outdoor, karaoke. That's where you can switch the bass on and remove the original vocals as well. Now, I have found that the best audio I get out of the Shell S3 is if I switch the music mode to light and I put the bass boost on. If you do go to hi-fi and you switch the bass boost on, it sounds a little bit too muffled. It's almost like there's a bit too much bass and there's not enough speaker for the bass that it's pushing out. But if you go to light and you put bass boost on, you get your best sound. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the sound comparison between the Shell S3 and the Shell S2. I've set both speakers up that I feel I get the best sound out of them for my ears. Maybe it's not the case for you. And I'm going to toggle between the Shell S2 as well as the Shell S3. Now, I'm not comparing this to the Shell S1 or the Break X1 or X2 because those speakers are extremely powerful. But take a listen to this.
But it's too late now. I remember you and me. And how careless we be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright. Staying awake till sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us. Like a good drug, never run. We'd hook up in my car, it's so far, play your guitar, you show me your heart, let down our guards, think with our hearts, stare at the stars, we were never apart, drinking too young, wait.
Now I'm going to let you decide on which one sounds better. The Shell S2 definitely has a bit more volume, but every now and then the Shell S3 sounds a little bit crisper and clearer to me. It's really much of a muchness over there, and you're not getting a lot more speaker when it comes to the Shell S2 as opposed to this Shell S3. They are different. There's no HDMI port on the Shell S3. There's no aux in on the Shell S3. So you kind of just have to decide. I'm really glad that iKarao has made a Break X1, X2, Shell S1, S2, and S3 because there's such a vast variety for anyone that wants to get into karaoke and just have a decent speaker around with them. So what's the verdict? Well, the Shell S3 is not going to blow your ears away. If you're looking for something that's going to blow your ears away, the iKarao Break X1 is an absolute machine. Bear in mind, it does cost a lot more than the Shell S3. I'm going to put the price of the Shell S3 right up over here, but these are great little speakers to have around. They're handy to carry around the house. Music is such a good way to get into the soul, and I believe we should always have music around us. Doesn't matter what music you're into, that is your personal preference, and I think that is why speakers, music, and karaoke is just so much fun. We're all our own person, and having your own music is the way that you de-stress or the way you have fun, and that's what we do. That's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Or wherever you are in the world, have a good day, good evening, good night. Goodbye.